What drives a person to commit heinous crimes for financial gain and control? Today we delve into the chilling story of Blanche Taylor Moore. Born and raised in rural North Carolina, Moore's life was marred by hardship and tragedy from the start. Her father, a hard-drinking bootlegger, set a violent and unstable precedent in her early years. As she grew older, Moore sought solace in relationships, but each one seemed to only deepen her descent into darkness. Her boyfriend, a man smitten by her charm, had no inkling of the danger that lurked beneath her sweet exterior. Her husband, a loving and trusting man, was equally oblivious. And her own father, despite their tumultuous past, could never have imagined the fate his daughter had in store for him. These men, drawn into Moore's life and captivated by her allure, were unaware of the deadly intentions that lay behind her beguiling demeanor. Unbeknownst to them, they were walking into a deadly trap. Blanche Taylor Moore's weapon of choice was as insidious as it was lethal: arsenic. With a deadly precision, she wove a web of deception and death. Her victims, those closest to her, her motive, twisted by greed and a thirst for control. Moore's method was slow and calculated. She didn't dispatch her victims with a single fatal dose. Instead, she administered the poison over extended periods, prolonging their agony. Each spoonful of arsenic-laced food, each sip of tainted drink, brought her victims one step closer to their untimely end. And what was her reward? Financial gain and the twisted satisfaction of control. She manipulated the lives of those she claimed to love, turning their trust into a death sentence. Yet her seemingly perfect crime was not without its flaws. The insidious trail of poison she left behind would eventually lead to her downfall. But even the most carefully laid plans can unravel. A sudden illness, a suspicious pattern, and the walls began to close in on Moore. The sudden, inexplicable illness of her boyfriend sparked a series of questions. It was a familiar pattern, eerily similar to the fates of her husband and father. The pieces of this deadly puzzle began to align, leading the investigators down a chilling path. Moore's capture came swiftly. Her once unsuspecting victims' families were left in shock as the woman they had known was unmasked as a predator. The trial that followed was nothing short of a spectacle. A rare case of a female serial killer, her crimes were as heinous as they were meticulously planned. The courtroom buzzed with the gravity of her actions, her persona only adding to the public's fascination. The prosecution painted a picture of a woman fueled by avarice and a need for control, a woman who chose poison as her weapon. In the end, justice has a way of catching up. On the stand, Moore faced the consequences of her deadly game. The court was silent as the weight of her actions hung heavily in the room. The verdict was clear, the punishment severe. Blanche Taylor Moore was sentenced to death for her crimes, a chilling end to a tale of deception and slow poison. This sentence marked a grim milestone. Moore became one of the oldest women in the United States to be awaiting execution, a dubious honor, reflecting the severity of her crimes and the lives she had stolen. The wheels of justice had turned, yet the sentence would not bring back those lost, nor erase the pain caused by her actions. The echoes of her deeds reverberated far beyond the courtroom, casting a long and haunting shadow. Yet her story continues to echo in the halls of crime history. Blanche Taylor Moore's story is a chilling testament to the depths of human malevolence. In the annals of crime, her tale is etched with a dark ink, the echoes of her legacy reverberating through the corridors of time. Moore was no ordinary criminal. She defied the stereotypes of female murderers, choosing a method both insidious and elusive: slow poisoning. This strategy, often associated with control and manipulation, has since shed light on the complex psychology of female serial killers. Her case has sparked discussions around the globe, from academic circles to true crime communities. It's forced us to reckon with the reality of slow poisoning as a method of murder, and the challenges it poses for detection. The shadow of her deeds looms large over the landscape of crime detection, pushing for advancements in forensic toxicology, a grim reminder that sometimes the most dangerous threats lurk where we least expect them.